Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood blind man here. So today, there isn't really a lot to cover right now. I just wanted to make a little video talking about my just memories I've had of MK over the years. I just woke up, so if I sound a little tired, I'm sorry. What is this? What has MK meant to me over the years? Mortal Kombat and everything, what has it meant to me? It's brought me a lot of happiness in my life. I have a lot of good memories. I remember, the first time I was ever exposed to it, I was 7 years old. I might have been younger. I was at an arcade with some family, and I was walking past these arcade cabinets back when I had a little bit more vision, and I saw this thing and it said Mortal Kombat, and I was like, what the hell is that, This looks pretty fun. And at the time I didn't know it, but it was showing pictures of Scorpion and Sub-Zero on the screen, and I'm like, oh cool, blue ninja, yellow ninja. And then I decided to pop a quarter in, and it showed the select screen, and I picked Scorpion, not knowing who he was at the time. And when I finally figured out, I was just button mashing, and I was winning matches and having a good time. And then, when I finally figured out how to do his spear, and I heard "get over here" for the first time. 7 years old, 6 years old, I thought that was the coolest shit in the world. I spent $10 in quarters that day playing MK1 arcade cabinet. So I tried the whole roster, and I was curious, who are these characters? What is this game about? Is there a story mode? Why is there, why are all the ninjas different colors with different powers, And then just as I've gotten older, I started to dive into the 3D era games, Deception, Armageddon, Deadly Alliance, MKs 1, 2, and 3, MK4, The less we say about MK versus DC, the better, in my opinion. But, when I was 11, MK9 came out, and that was the first game I owned for PlayStation. It wasn't the first Mortal Kombat game that I had owned, but it was the first one I had on PlayStation. The first one I ever owned was Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance for GameCube, way back in the day. And I don't know, just over the years, I fell in love with some of the characters, Liu Kang, Katana, Jade, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Raiden, all those classic characters. I fell in love with their powers and their costumes and their lore and why they do what they do and all this stuff, And when I was a teenager, 15 years old, I remember when MKX's reveal trailer got dropped, and I was so excited, And then over the years, from the time I was 15, and I went all the way through that year playing MKX until I was 16, same thing, and then 17, 18, and then when I turned 19, MK11 was released, and then I've just been playing 11 the last 4 years, because that's been the latest, game from NetherRealm lately. And, it's from the time I'm 19, and here I am now at almost 23, And this series has had its ups and downs, sure, but for me, it's been nothing but positive memories. I mean, I can remember being a little kid, going to friends' houses and, playing, excuse me, everybody, sorry about that, playing MK4, MK3, MK2, MK1, Deadly Alliance, Armageddon, Deception, all of them on different, consoles, and, learning the combos and learning what it means to do a standing low punch and what it means to do, high punch, low punch, high punch, low punch, special, you know what I mean? Like, I remember learning all of that over the years and just having so much fun, no matter if I was a young, 10, 11-year-old kid, or if I was a young adult, 16, 17 years old, playing, Predator and MKX for 4 or 5 hours in training mode, just learning different things. And MK11 even, I remember You know, I remember the day I had prom, my senior year of high school. I had also had to take the SATs that day. And I remember coming home from taking the SATs, and I was so exhausted, but I was so excited because I was like, bet I can come home, get ready for prom, and play some MK11. And I just remember sitting there in my $5,000 tuxedo that I had, and you know, kicking ass in Combat League, you know. And I mean, I've met a lot of good friends from playing Mortal Kombat online over the years. You know, playing Combat League, ranked 1v1, you know, I've met a lot of good family, a lot of good friends of mine that I still talk to this day. Sorry about that again. You know, I've had a lot of good memories. You know, I've been very passionate about this franchise ever since I discovered it. You know, I've been very thankful that this game exists. You know, I mean, the way I feel about Mortal Kombat is the way other people probably feel about games like Street Fighter and Tekken and the, you know, WWE wrestling games and the UFC games, because I've played all of those games as well. Well, my very first introduction to Tekken was Tekken Tag Tournament 2, and I played a lot of Lucky Chloe and Martial Law. And then when I played Street Fighter, my very first Street Fighter game I ever played was Street Fighter 5. And I was a really big fan of Chun-Li because she reminded me a lot of Liu Kang, you know, with the spinning bird kick, and I thought that was like a bicycle kick. And, you know, and then I played Ryu just because of fireballs, and that reminded me also of Liu Kang, you know. And then when I started playing, you know, other game, you know, just all different types of fighting games. I mean, like I said, I'm passionate about MK, like certain people are passionate about, you know, Tekken. You know, I'm sure there's tons of YouTube channels out there dedicated just for Tekken, just for Street Fighter, just for WWE games, just for UFC games, you know. And every fighting game has a different fan base. Some are toxic, and I'm gonna just be honest, like the Mortal Kombat community, we can be very toxic at times. I mean, look at the Melina fan base for MK11. She wasn't on the base roster, and that fan base made their voices known, and that's how she got added as DLC. And I'm not saying that it's a cool thing to be toxic and make threats to developers and all this, because I don't know if anyone remembers, but back in the day, people were saying, oh, Melina's not in the game, we're going to go to Chicago and burn down NetherRealm, burn the studio to the ground. And I'm just like, I understand people are passionate about a franchise or about a certain character, but just because they're not in one game doesn't mean you have to take it as far as people would. Now, did this ever happen? No, it was just a lot of threats. I mean, I think, if I remember, I could have swore Ed Boon himself has even came out and said that he's received death threats over the years from just truly passionate and loyal fans about, oh, well, my character's not in the game, or this stage isn't, you know what I mean? Like, but that just goes to show, I mean, yes, fans can be crazy, but at the same time, that just goes to show how much we love a franchise. Like, look at like, I have a cousin, for example, he's fully sighted, and he's a real big fan of the Fast and the Furious franchise, the racing games. He loves those games like I love MK, and he asked me, why do you love fighting games so much? And I looked at him and I asked him, I says, well, why do you love racing games? And he just told me 2 words. They're fun. That was my point exactly. And I understand that, you know, not fighting games aren't for everybody. There's people that are going to never play a fighting game in their life because they think they're too boring or too technical or whatever. There's people that think shooting games and racing games are boring and that fighting games are the best. Like me, I gravitate towards fighting games because of my visual impairment, because I can't see well enough to play a game like GTA 5. My vision isn't well enough for me to play something like, you know, Call of Duty or anything like that. Now, when I was a little kid, okay, yes, I used to play GTA Vice City or GTA San Andreas all the time, and there was nothing more satisfying than going around beating up people on the street and taking their money and, you know, crashing cars and getting the see how many stars you could get for the cops and seeing how long it takes you to get all this to get away from them, or staying up till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning playing Call of Duty Zombies with your, older cousins, or, doing 45, 50-minute Broadway wrestling matches in the old SmackDown versus Raw games, or doing crazy MMA fights in those UFC games, playing as your favorite fighter and all this, and learning the moves and the button inputs and the layout of, okay, this button does this, well, if I, do this button, what does this do, you know what I mean? And I've had a lot of good memories with fighting games, and it's not just Mortal Kombat. I've had a lot of good memories with Tekken 7. I mean, I remember when they announced Negan from The Walking Dead as DLC, that made me want to get that game. I did get the game. I wasn't able to afford the DLC at the time. I may not have been able to play as Negan, but just knowing that he was in the game made me buy it. You know what I mean? Just knowing that, you could play as Ken and Ryu in Street Fighter made me get Street Fighter V, because those are the two, think about it. When it comes to Street Fighter, Ken and Ryu. Mortal Kombat, Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Tekken, well, I'm not really sure who the two main characters from Tekken would be, or the two poster boys for Tekken. I'm not sure. But if you know those characters are going to be in the game, they're the two most popular characters from their respective franchises, that's going to make you as a consumer going to go, damn, I wonder what they play like. I'm going to buy the game just to try them out. And I'm not saying you have to play as the most popular characters. I know people who play Mortal Kombat who play some of the least most popular characters. Like, I had an ex-girlfriend at the time. A couple years ago, she was a real big Mortal Kombat fan as well. And she didn't play Liu Kang. She didn't play Katana. She didn't play Raiden. She didn't play Kano. She didn't play, all the popular characters. She played the less popular characters. Jax, Sonya, Cassie Cage, Jackie Briggs. She played those characters. I have friends who play MK who do nothing but play the popular characters. I had a friend online on my old PlayStation account who did nothing but play the new characters to the series. If there was a new character in the game, I better best believe he was playing it. Like in MK11, he was a Geras main. He was a collector player. He was a Cetrion main as well. He didn't touch none of the other cast members. He played those three. So, I mean, fighting game fans, we can be passionate about certain franchises. Some of our fan bases can be toxic. I mean, there's just no denying it. Let's just state facts here. Some of the community can be very toxic when it comes to fighting games. Going back to my Melina example for MK11. Toxic fan base. But when they got what they wanted, they were grateful because the fact that they got what they wanted. And, there's passionate fans that comes when it comes to, like I said, racing games, shooting games, fighting games, puzzle games, RPGs. Like, there's a blind accessible game for iPhone and Android that's free to download. It works with voiceover. It's this game called Lost Vault. And that's a RPG, fully blind accessible game that I'm very passionate about. Just like there's another blind accessible game that's only for iPhones and it's free to download. It's kind of like an RPG. It's called Sortie Quest. There's a lot of people that I know who are visually impaired that are very obsessed with that game. So, I mean, yeah, I have a lot of good memories with fighting games. A lot of good memories with MK in particular. But I just want to know down in the comments, what do you guys think? What are your most passionate memories of your favorite video games? It don't even have to be fighting games. What's your most passionate memory? What's your favorite memory? What's your happiest memory? What is your favorite piece of lore for a game? What is your favorite concept? Your favorite... Sorry about that. Just what is your favorite anything? Like, what is your favorite thing to do in GTA? What is your favorite thing to do in MK, Street Fighter, Tekken, wrestling games? What was your favorite? I mean, I know in wrestling games, my favorite thing was I always used to love putting people through tables. That was fun for me. You know, GTA, like I said, I used to love going down the street, beating up people, stealing cars. You know, Tekken, I used to love playing martial law and just spamming his crazy kicks. Or Ryu, I used to love playing Ryu in Street Fighter V and just throwing out Hadoukens left and right. You know, and Shurikens. Even though I could never really master the direction, you know, forward, down, forward. It sounds simple, but it's a lot harder than you think. You know, just so, I mean, I'm just wanting everyone to realize that, especially in the fighting game community, it doesn't matter what fighting game you play. Killer Instinct, Street Fighter, MK, Tekken, Injustice, Skullgirls, Dead or Alive, Virtual Fighter, I already said Tekken. What is the other one? What is the other one I had in my mind? Hold on. Dragon Ball, that's right. Dragon Ball. You know, they all might be different fighting game franchises, but all of us fans that play these games are passionate. And I'm just curious, you know, what is your guys' stories? Because everybody has a good set of stories. No matter what game franchise you come from, no matter what game you play, we're all in the same community. We all love fighting games. It's what brings us all together, and I think that's a beautiful thing, especially considering how the world is today with politics and, you know, all the craziness of the world nowadays, and, you know, things getting changed and new concepts coming along that people are starting to accept and stuff like that. You know, at least when it comes to fighting games, we can all put our personal differences, our racial differences, our religious differences, our political differences to the side, pick up a controller, put a headset on, talk crap to a buddy or two, and have a good time kicking some ass and taking some names, pulling off your favorite combos, showing off your favorite character, your favorite costume. You know what I mean? And I think that's a beautiful thing in this world. And, you know, Mortal Kombat 12 is going to be coming very soon, you know. Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8. You know, it's a beautiful time to be a fighting game fan. You know, and even people that aren't fighting game fans. You know, we have GTA 6. There's new Call of Duty games coming, I'm sure, in the future. There's, you know, all different types of shooting games that are, you know, just different video games in general. I mean, right now it's a beautiful time to be a video game fan, because no matter who you are as a person, there's a game out there for you. And I think video games bring people together, no matter what genre, no matter how hard the game is. If it's a mobile game, console game, computer game, it doesn't matter. Everybody has a good time playing it. And that's all that matters. And like I said, I think that's a beautiful thing, especially us in the fighting game community. We all have different opinions. Street Fighter's better than Tekken. Tekken's better than MK. MK's better than this. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to have their opinion. But at the end of the day, we're all passionate about the franchise we love the most. And that's with me and MK. I'm a very big MK fan, and I always will be. So when NetherRealm released that 30-year anniversary video thanking us as fans for sticking with them through the years, it should be us thanking them, because, you know, they were the ones that gave us these memories. They were the ones that gave us, some of us, our childhoods. You know, some of us grew up with MK. Some of us weren't exposed to MK until, you know, MK9, MKX. Hell, I know people that haven't even played Mortal Kombat until MK11 and have gone back and played the older games like, holy shit, I didn't know this existed. And just seeing the smiles on their faces, or hearing it in their voices, I guess you could say, or just, you know, hearing how passionate they get, I believe that's a beautiful thing. So, with that being said, I could rant about this for hours. I really could, because this franchise just means that much to me. You know, every time I boot up an MK game, I just have a smile on my face, because I know no matter how many hours I play online, if I lose, you know, 40, 50 fights in a row against other players, I don't care if I lose. I just like doing it to have a good time, and that's all fighting games should be about. Yeah, you want to play a character or play a type of fighting game to improve your skills and be the best version of yourself that you can be, and show your friends, hey, I'm a beast with this character, I'm a beast with this group of characters, or I'm a beast at this fighting game. But at the end of the day, fighting games are designed to have a good time and put smiles on people's faces. And I think that is a beautiful thing, and we need more of it in this world. So, with that being said, I just wanted to make this video to share some of my earliest memories of MK. I know I went on a giant rant and got sidetracked, and I'm so sorry about that. But like I said, I'm very passionate about this type of video game, considering my disability. And another thing I want to touch on, I'm going to make a separate video, and that's accessibility in fighting games, because I think this could be an interesting topic as well. So that's going to be a separate video. That video will be coming out tomorrow. I just wanted to make this video today and get this up, because in my video I made yesterday, I promised you guys I'd get this video up, so that's what I want to do. With that being said, I'm going to ask you guys this question, and y'all can put your answers down in the comments. What is your guys' favorite fighting game? What is your guys' favorite memory? Who was your guys' favorite character? What introduced you, what memories do you have that introduced you to a certain character or a certain fighting game franchise? And it doesn't even have to be fighting games. You could put down in the comments, well, I remember my first time playing Call of Duty, or my first time playing this, or my first time, you know what I mean? It doesn't even have to be fighting games. So basically, I'm asking you guys is, what is your first exposure to a video game franchise that you're passionate about? What is your happiest memory? But with that being said, I hope everyone takes the time to watch this. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you would like. I appreciate every single subscriber I get. And like I said, if we can hit that goal of getting up to 50 by the end of the year, that'd be amazing, because then, like I said, I'll start doing my live streams, and by then I hopefully will have internet. The Xfinity people should be coming sometime this week. I got my appointment set up on Monday. I got my stuff ordered, my bills paid, so I should have someone coming tomorrow or Monday at the latest to get the internet set up. And then when that's all said and done, I'll be able to do live streams. We can do AMAs. We can talk about, just whatever. I might even do some, maybe some ranked matches, show you guys, how I play as a blind person against other people, stuff like that. So like I said, I just want to say thank you to everyone who watches these videos. You guys give me the motivation to keep doing this. Thank you to everyone who subscribes. I love you. You don't know how much it means to me when I look on my YouTube account and I see a new subscriber, or this video has this many views, or this video got this many likes. Like, that makes me happy as a content creator. That makes me want to keep doing this. I do this for you guys. You guys, like I said, give me the courage as a visually impaired person to make these types of videos. And there's not really a lot of visual impaired representation in the fighting game community, and I think that can be changed for the better. And I would love to see how we can expand upon things like accessibility in fighting games in the future, or just video games in general. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who watches. Thank you to everyone who likes, comments, shares, recommends this channel to a friend, family member, a loved one, significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, sister, brother, cousin, uncle, auntie, niece, whatever it may be, nephew, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the views. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for just kicking it with me every time I upload. Even though I go on my long-ass rants that sometimes make no sense, and my face isn't always centered in the camera because, reasons, or the obvious, kind of can't see where the camera is. But, either ways, thank you guys so much for watching. I love all of you. This is your friendly neighborhood blind man saying, if you would like, subscribe, like, comment, share, turn on all notifications if you would like. All of that stuff is up to you guys. But like I said, I am very thankful for each new subscriber, each like, each view, each comment that I get. And I just hope we can keep expanding this channel, man. This has been something that I've debated for years on doing, and that's making, YouTube and stuff, YouTube content. So thank you guys. I love you. You guys are the best. This community is the best fighting game community. The FGC, us Mortal Kombat fans, we're some of the most passionate, loyal fans, and I'm so proud to be a part of this, fan base. I'm so happy that I discovered this franchise in my life, and I'm so happy that I get to play these games and learn these characters, use these costumes, learn these combos, and just have a good time, and introduce new people to this series of fighting game, and and just see them and see the passion in their eyes and hear it in their voice when they get to play these things. So with that being said, I'm gonna hop off here. This video is a long one, I know. I hope everyone has a good weekend. Stay safe. I love you, and thank you so much, everybody.